Welcome back. Authorities in Oregon State in the United States are now trying to ascertain the motive for the killing of 13 people at Oregon's Umqua Community College. The shooter is now dead, and 4 guns found at the scene are thought to have belonged to the shooter. Some 20 others were also injured in the incident that has taken the small community of Roseburg by surprise. The school has always been described as a peaceful and safe atmosphere. Law enforcement are currently investigating the incident. President Barack Obama has blamed Congress's inaction for continued mass shootings in the U.S. And now we go live to Bianca Perez in the United States. Hi, Bianca. Good to speak with you. Could you give us the latest information in connection with this mass shooting in Oregon State?
Hi, Regan. How are you? Yes, the latest we have actually the Sheriff of Roseburg County in Oregon, which is where Umqua College is located, came and spoke. He gave a brief press conference, and he actually confirmed there have been 10 deaths and only 10 injured, although earlier we had heard that there were a lot more injuries. I am not sure where the confusion lies. He didn't specify, but he did confirm 10 deaths and 10 injuries thus far. Also, of course, as you mentioned before, the shooter is now deceased. They still have not released his name. All we know is that it was a male, 20-year-old male. We're not sure if he was a student of the college. They have not released any facts about the shooter just yet. There have been some reports that the shooter made some announcements on social media, so obviously the police know his identity and have been investigating and looking into some of the things that he may have said last night in certain conversations, but they have not given much else about why this happened or what led to this event thus far.
Now, Bianca, I know President Barack Obama has spoken to the press at the White House, and he made a comment stating that the response by the media is now routine. The response by authorities is routine, but the response after incidents like this happens is all routine. And of course, he called again on Congress to respond with stricter gun control regulations. Has there been any reactions thus far from anti-gun control groups?
You're correct. So essentially, President Barack Obama spoke and kind of said that the nation has become used to these types of situations. It is important to note that this is the 15th time this year that he has to make this speech, addressing the nation regarding certain shootings that have occurred, massacres, not only in schools, but also we have had church shootings, shootings in movie theaters. So I think to him, it's getting a little old having to mention this. And that was what he said during his speech, that everyone is kind of getting used to speaking about this topic, but nothing is really being done. And he really called upon Congress for that. As far as anti-gun organizations, some have come out to speak, none of them officially, but as analysts in different media outlets, and they have spoken of action needs to be taken by the Congress. Something needs to be done because it's difficult to think that a nation that claims to be so powerful is still being affected by these things when laws could be put in place to try and solve this issue. So they, of course, stand on the side of President Obama, who's asked for more gun control, and they're hopeful that maybe this shooting, as they have been in the past with every other shooting that we've encountered, will lead to more gun control in the United States.
Bianca, are you able to walk us through exactly how this shooter, who's now dead, got into school through security? And what was the response of teachers and students at school once the shooting had begun?
Right, Regan. Well, it is still somewhat of a mystery. The police has not released all the facts yet. What we do know is that the campuses here, and I'll explain a little bit, in the U.S. are not necessarily closed campuses, so you don't have to walk through a security gate when you go to the university. So this is an open campus. It's essentially a collection of buildings, what makes up this community college. So anybody could have easily walked in to any college campus here, and they don't necessarily have to go through a security gate. At that point is where it becomes unclear whether he was a student or whether he was just an outsider. The shooting occurred in multiple classrooms from what reports have said, but that also has not been verified just yet. So it's still very up in the air and unclear. What I do know is that the security on the campus is not necessarily a security gate. So there's really no way for security to stop someone like that from walking in.
Bianca, thanks so much for the report. We'll touch base with you another time. Thanks again.